Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. It is April 23rd. This is me and the great Billi Bhatti. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. This is a little nitty-gritty dirt show preview. And the rock star is in the house. Billi Bhatti. Look at that hair, man. Look at that hair. Look at him.
That's very clean today.
Look at you. Billi,
Yeah.
what about your best friend and confidant and partner in crime and colleague stepping in shit with Charlotte Flair, bro? What about that? Oh, Charlotte let him have it, huh, bro?
He was at his worst week. Well, I thought coming in, and I had written down this situation. So if I turn around to you, right, and I say, if like we're talking about a conversation where, so remember we had the brand logo, and originally like I was in the middle of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. And then like now I'm like on the side, and Vic Venom's got in the middle. And if I like brought that up with you, and I was sitting on the show and I was doing this, which is how would I be removed from this brand for that? But according to him, this was a reason for the firing of someone that he wouldn't even identify. So he used the reason for why someone. He goes, 2 people were fired. Yeah. One was very pouty, and the other one was complaining about her position. I'm sorry that nobody gets fired, even in WWE, as political as it may be, that if they say, why am I not on WrestleMania? Or if the other one is pouty.
Well, and then, Billi, I saw the exact comment you're talking about. Bro, what the frig good are you if you're not going to tell us who it is? Like, what are we supposed to play what, bro? I'm going to spend an hour playing a guessing game? Oh, God, what is Dave trying to say here?
Can you imagine a conversation, though? Someone goes up to Vince, knocks on the door. Vince, I need to talk to you. What is it? Yeah, so-and-so's walking around. They're quite pouty. You're not going to sit there and go, he's probably going to go, what the hell is pouty?
Oh, my God.
What the hell is pouty? Oh, they're walking around and doing this.
What a lame-ass tweet. I read that, and I'm like, is this guy kidding me or what, bro? He has no information. None.
Dude, I wonder now, at this point, is he trolling? Like, is he kind of like, look, I'm 60 to 70 years. I don't know how old he is. I've got so much money stashed away. If I leave this industry, or if I get fired, or if I lose subscribers, I don't give a shit. Like, I almost want to destroy what I've created. I almost feel like
no, bro, come on, Billi. You and I both know he wants to be the god of the marks. Like, that means everything to him, bro. Guiding these marks through the wrestling business and teaching them. No, bro.
Is there an indestructible element to that where he just thinks to himself, I'll just say anything?
That's possible. Yeah.
In terms of that, he has so little respect for people, that he can just spout out anything, and he knows that he'll be okay.
Yes. And bro, the thing I don't understand, whatever shot he took at Charlotte, bro, I swear to God, the last 2 weeks, Charlotte came out with, she straightened her hair. She's wearing these little culottes the last 2 weeks. Bro, I thought it was the best Charlotte has looked like maybe ever. What shots is he taking at Charlotte's appearance, bro?
Oh, he said that she's taking time off to fix her appearance. and he said there's nothing wrong. Not that I think there's anything wrong with her appearance, but they make you feel. He said they make you feel insecure. So she's insecure about her appearance, and she's asked for like time off to fix something else, which was her teeth.
And did you hear she answered the same exact way I do? Dave, you have my number. So if you want to know what the real story is, call me. Bro, so many times I emailed this guy. He has all my information. Never one time did he ever try to get information from me. He would just print stuff that was absolutely untrue. When the guy's got my email address, he's got my contact. He never even asks. He just puts it out there.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's weird because there's no like legalities involved here, and nobody can sue him for this, that, or the other, whatever. There seems to be some kind of like wrestling loophole. But yeah, I was surprised actually when she said, "You have my number," which means that the most concerning thing about the whole thing for me was that part of it, because people still respect him enough to think he's worth getting his opinion of their matches. And the only reason that he would have her number is if Charlotte Flair asked him to tell her what she thought she could be doing better. Or her dad gave it to her and her dad said, "Hey, I know Dave Meltzer, he'll be able to give you the right advice as to like, what you're doing. He's a good guy to talk to in terms of like your work and things like that." That would be the only way. Otherwise, how did it happen? It had to be a positive exchange for that to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
Which means people still care what he thinks.
Here's another one of your colleagues, the great Tony Khan. Billy, NXT, they go the first week of TV without NXT, so it's unopposed now, and they do 1.2 million people. And bro, they go out there publicly and they're jumping through hoops and they're gloating and they're putting it over. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, guys, out of that 1.2 million people, some people tuned in, checking it out for the first time. Maybe casual marks, maybe they were NXT fans, whatever. But maybe
why am I seeing through your t-shirt? What's going
something on? With I think it's like a green screen kind of thing, bro. I don't know, man.
I'm tripping out.
You getting turned on?
I can see through your.
I know. I could see through it too. I don't know, bro. It's something green screeny. So, Billy, I'm saying to myself, okay, guys, the rating is going to go down because the show stinks. So it's that number is never going to go up. It is going to go down, and you will be back down below 1 million people within the matter of 3 months. So, bro, they go out there, they gloat about the number, and sure enough, the next week, the number is down. Billy, why would you gloat about a number if the chances are even 50-50 that the next week it could go down? Bro, during those Attitude Era numbers, Billy, I know we do podcasts on a poll. Bro, no matter what number we achieved, bro, we never, ever gloated about the numbers, ever, not even one time. Why would you do that, bro, with the chance of it going down the following week? Now you look like an absolute moron.
Well, I mean, the chances are increased when the main thing you put on that show is you do a thing where the week before you do a thing with Tyson and the Pinnacle. And then you have an entire week to advertise and say Tyson is back next week. This wasn't some social media thing where like WWE do sometimes and they announce this is on social media and you have to be on Twitter to see it. Anybody that watched last week would have seen that Tyson was on and he would be on again. And it was a follow-up situation. So yeah, I mean, they had the benefit of they should have maintained everybody that they had the prior week. And then they also had a new audience that bought in. So that was the week that they did the big number. The fact that you don't have the common sense, the business sense, and the know-how to realize that there's going to be a drop-off from having Mike Tyson look who this is. This is Mike Tyson. I understand that, like, you haven't pulled massive numbers with him previously, like not as much as anybody else does. But the fact is that if you have 700,000 or 800,000 the weeks you did have him, it may be disappointing to you. But just imagine you didn't have him. You could have had a 600,000 show. Like, it doesn't mean that nobody tuned in to see Tyson. In one given week, there's always going to be a percentage of your audience, maybe as high as 10% of the people you get, that would have tuned into Tyson. That is me. I came back when they brought back Tyson to check in on what's going on. I'm not alone in that. I'm not alone in, like, being a fan of Tyson growing up and the legacy of Tyson and just wanting to see what Tyson does. So you don't gloat on the week that you have Tyson. If you pull this number out of your ass and you were doing Orange Pockets, Cassidy and Miro in the main event, and you did a 1.2, I would say go and brag about that, because you're going to probably be able to hold that number. If you did that shit main event like that and you did a 1.2 or whatever, then you can brag about it. But you did it with Tyson. You did it with Tyson, and you did, the most important point here is 300,000 less on free TV than Triller did selling Mike Tyson at $60, having a exhibition fight. They did 1.5 million buys. You did 1.2 million free viewers. Like, do you understand the difference here? There's a massive monetary difference, and they still did more than you. I mean, that's the thing with even with Triller. Like, they did that number with Jake Paul. Jake Paul did around about 1.5 million buys for his fight with Ben Askren this weekend, which was really surprising. Which means that if you put Tyson or Jake Paul or all these guys on Triller, they have stumbled upon a formula. Plus, I don't know if you saw that show. It's very like wrestling orientated. Ric Flair was on it. Ric Flair was there emceeing a slap fight on that show. They had Justin Bieber performing. They had Snoop Dogg performing. They had Snoop Dogg on commentary. They had MMA fighters having boxing matches, obviously, on the card and in the main event as well. This is a completely different thing, but it's another company, and this is the last thing that wrestling needs, another company that's doing wrestling, the principles of wrestling, better than wrestling. So this is not good at all. And when we talk about things on the other side, we'll talk about how WWE some things WWE are doing and planning this week, because it should be celebratory off the back of that quarterly number that you delivered this month. Despite all these firings and things that you did, you once again topped your biggest ever quarter earnings. There's no celebrations there, Vince. There's no celebrations at all. There is a definite sense of reality that's kicked in about numbers elsewhere in the company that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm very interested to talk about, bro, the structure, you know, Carano being let go. I want to talk about that. Supposedly, bro, Nick Khan is getting his guys in place. And man, I'm looking at this and I'm wondering what could this mean for Bruce Pritchard? I'm looking at that as well. We'll talk about that on the other side, bro. You know, because bro, if Nick Khan is a businessman through and through, and he's making Vince McMahon this kind of money, and Nick Khan is smart enough to see Bruce for what he is, bro, if Vince has to make a decision, it's going to be the guy making him the money. I mean, there's no question about that. But what else are we going to talk about on the other side, Billy?
Yeah, let me just grab my notes here. So that's the main things of the evolution. I mean, it's all generally about that, to be honest with you. In terms of okay, so I've got Meltzer's stories here, the one that Jeff brought up that we discussed, and Charlotte's. We did that here on the free show. It's just, for me, without giving any specifics, I'm going to just basically give some examples and stories of things that they're doing, and it all is desperation stakes. It's desperation stakes off the back of Mania. It's desperation stakes for next year's Mania. It's desperation stakes for things that happened at this Mania. It's desperation stakes for the ratings. It's just an overall realization that that things are not going to continue to move in this positive direction, and the changes and the scapegoats look like they will be the people that mostly stem from wrestling backgrounds, which may be good actually. So we'll see, and we'll talk about it without giving it all up here.
Okay. All right, bro. Tell everybody about our show, Podcast on a Pole, Lock Betting. Tell everybody about the Dirty Sheets. Go ahead, Billy.
Just on the side of that, what I was just talking about, that some people don't really always want this stuff. We're going to talk about a couple of storyline ideas and sort of who's going to work with who and all that kind of stuff. It's not my favorite stuff. Look, I always kind of say this negative thing. Like, I make most of my money from lockbetting.com. My wrestling stuff's there is just to embarrass Dave Meltzer, Ryan Satin, all these people who think that they know things. And I only set this up because I was more right than them. So for me, like I always say, if you sign up for the dirtysheets.com is where I do my wrestling news, and me and Vince talk about it here. But I think unless you're on the betting package side, the combat pack for UFC, boxing, and WWE, I don't quite understand you. Look, it's your prerogative. I sell the news, and you can come and get it off me. But I would never buy news in this current state of affairs with this company. If something exciting is going to happen, if they're going to sign somebody, if this storyline is going to happen, if so and so is going to work with so and so, I wouldn't want me to tell you about it. It's so boring. It's so boring. Like the only thing that you have is the element of surprise. But look, I mean, this is what I do. Like as I said, if you're making money off news, which is the higher end betting packages and stuff, I understand it. If you just want to find out what's going on, spoiled, and tell your friends or whatever, then I don't get you, but I will provide that for you. But yeah, we'll talk about some of this stuff on the other side in terms of how some things will move forward. But yeah, lockbetting.com. I've talked about the dirtysheets.com. Lockbetting.com is where all of my betting is for all sports. We're on the 23rd now, so I would probably sign up on May the 1st. I can make you the subscription money back in 7 days easily, but I would rather just wait till May the 1st. Like, start from May the 1st. We're definitely going to have 95 months of profit. We're going to get that done this month. So get on board with the journey for 96 months. Podcast on a Pole is out at the moment, talking about April 1997, Steve Austin, a journey of Steve Austin, Vince coming on board, the creative team, still butting heads a little bit with Cornette. Was Glyn Disco Inferno supposed to be Rockabilly? The formation of the Heart Foundation, all of that in April 97. And the shows are very short. They're an hour and a half, and it comes out once a month. So whenever you start listening to the podcast on the Pole, don't be like, oh shit, I don't want to start. How much have I missed? You've missed like maybe an hour of content across 4 months. So you can go back and catch up easily. I know fat idiot Conrad does 4-hour podcasts, which are full of irrelevant information, and mostly Bruce Pritchard lying and Eric Bischoff lying and Kurt Angle trying to remember stuff with all the smashes he's had to his head and just basically making up things. But Vince has got a clear head. He hasn't taken any headshots. So and he wasn't in the wrestling bubble long enough to become a pathological liar. So yeah, we do a decent short show, like an hour and a half every month, and you can catch up with it even if you start now. The last thing is Austin's Toys and Games, which is my son's Instagram. He has done a lot of content this week, and also he did the Austin report over at the dirtysheets.com, but he's taking a break from. I don't know if you read the Austin report this week. They've actually they've demoralized my 10-year-old with this product.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He needs a 10-year-old wrote in his piece that he didn't write exactly that, but in so many words he wrote, he needs a mental break from this. But he didn't actually.
Bro, a 10-year-old needs a mental break from the WWE. That is great, bro.
The last paragraph of this is. Okay, so Raw and SmackDown after Mania. I could not believe these shows were Raw and SmackDown after Mania. I already spoke about SmackDown, and I don't have anything else to say. It was just a boring, normal show. As for Raw, I couldn't believe that WWE did nothing, especially after making us think they would do loads on Instagram by showing photos of all the photos of old Raws after Mania and asking what will happen tonight. The answer was the same for both Raw and SmackDown. Absolutely nothing. Drew McIntyre is stuck facing Lashley. He's going to lose 2 pay-per-views in a row. So he's ruined now before the fans are even back properly. So I'll probably never see him live as champion. This sucks because he worked hard to get there and he now has to take these losses as they haven't made anyone else good enough to get a title shot. I didn't care about anything else on Raw other than Charlotte returning. This is a weird thing is because Charlotte is right, because her and Sasha are easily the best 2 women. If they aren't in women's matches, then the women's matches are trash.
Oh my God.
I don't want to write my report for a couple of weeks unless something good happens. And my dad said it was okay to take a break until Backlash, which is stupidly called WrestleMania Backlash.
Wow, that's hysterical. A 10-year-old kid, man. The great Austin, bro. The great Austin.
Oh, listen to this paragraph I picked out here. This is interesting. We watched WrestleMania with my dad's friend live and bought a bunch of food. It was worth it for night 1, but night 2 was terrible. Also, I can't believe these fans booed Hulk Hogan. They wouldn't even be a WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan. I know what he said, but me and my dad have met Hulk Hogan since. And if my dad can forgive him for one mistake, then these loser fans can too. The fans that booed really suck.
Oh my God, that is, bro. Let me give him some applause, bro. Hold on. Very nice, Austin. Hey, I want a couple shout outs here. Jamie Ruiz, thank you for the super sticker. And my friend Some Punk just gifted a sub on Twitch. Thank you very, very much.
Mark Chaparnell. I do an entire show on Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's called the Soccer Gambling Podcast Network. And my midweek show on This Week Soccer was all about the European Super League. Now, bearing in mind, it was a 40-minute show and about 25 minutes was about the Super League. I can't really condense my thoughts on this platform. So just listen to that podcast and you'll get everything that I said on the European Super League. In fact, there's a 2-minute clip retweeted on my Twitter, which is at SGP Soccer. And that's a very nutshell 2 minutes that I picked out from the show, but you'll get my gist of how I feel from that.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to jump to the other side, bro. We're going to have the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show on patreon.com/Russo TWC. Guys, remember, you can get on board starting at 75 cents a week. For me and the great Billi Bhatti, we will see you on the other side.